it's like I'm down in Florida. Yes, I'm in Florida where it's raining constantly. Thank you for nothing. And I'm here chaperoning the high school marching band. So there you go. Not all of them. I've got 10 guys who are my special charge. But a vacation it is not. I would it's up to me. I wouldn't be doing it. But I'm having a wonderful time. My kids in the band, and so that's all. That's all great. So we apologize for the less than stellar technical quality. Trying to do this through the cell phone. Anyway, we were just talking to a gentleman who's now, and this is not unusual. Okay, it's not at all unusual for one of the family members to be living in the house, right? And frequently, when the family member is doing that, it's not a what do you call? You know, not everybody agrees with it. Put it that way. And so the when not everybody agrees, then the question is, well, what do we do about it? Frequently, probably as most of our eviction practice is we're evicting, the family, the holdover kid from the house. Now that is not what's going on here. And this is a situation where one of the family member, the sister who's using the house, sort of as a refuge, not able, from a divorce, possible divorce, we don't know. But then the question is, what do we do next? Frequently in these situations, what people will do is they'll say, well, we all own the house jointly. We'll deed it out of mom's trust and we all hold it jointly. And that seems like a good idea. So if one person dies, then the other ones get it. It seems like a good idea. It's really a terrible idea because there's no agreement. I was watching one of these ads on TV for a company that claims to do wills and trusts, right? Or trusts and wills or whatever. And it's so easy. It's the way you do it, just click, click, click. Listen, when I was in the military back in the 80s, we put together something like, it was an automated thing for when soldiers would deploy so that they would have a basic will and powers of attorney. Okay, we were doing this stuff just like, I'm watching the demonstration. It's exactly what we were doing, 40 years ago, 45 years ago. It's the same thing, right? But what hasn't changed, technology hasn't changed. It's different. You accomplish the same goal in a different way, right? But what has remained the same is the need for counseling. It isn't that easy. Everybody wants to, we're doing it right. It's like you're doing it like in the worst way possible. Because what you're doing, and I haven't gone into their whole program. Maybe there's attorneys that help you out, people who actually know what they're talking about every step along the way. Or maybe it's the way they represent it in the commercial, which is, just fill in the names and click, 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 and you're done. It doesn't work like that, okay? And you have an opportunity with this house. So mom dies, sister's living in the house, right? Mom taking care of the house while mom's in memory care. Now, mom has died. 3 kids now would be owning the house. You can either face what's going on here and make a deal with sister. Okay, you can live in the house for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I don't know, whatever deal you want to make. But you do it so that the house stays in trust. So if one of the other kids dies, they know that their family will get a share of that trust at a particular point in time. You have to think about this stuff. And it would be helpful if you had somebody who'd done it before. So, there's a shocking surprise. If somebody's done it before, then maybe they would know something about the ins and outs. And so often what happens in these things is, we just put everybody on the house. That'll fix it. It won't fix it. That's not a fix. That's a kick the can. That's a kick the can down the road, and it won't. So, what are you going to do in this situation? It depends, right? So you've got some cash. The beauty thing here, the great thing here, is you've got enough cash, and you've got enough house, right? So that everybody can come out whole, right? So let's say the total is 240,000. That's 80,000 each. Okay, there's enough cash here so that sister who's going through a difficult time, probably a divorce, it sounds like, but there's other difficult times in life. All right. And you've got enough, and nobody, quote unquote, needs the money. Well, you're entitled to the money. Okay. And here's the way Medicaid looks. You got to be thinking about this stuff. Somebody's got to be thinking about it because the way Medicaid works, and I got dinged on this. We had a case probably 10 years ago where they let where our client, right, whose husband got the dementia, right, she was entitled to receive from mom's house, right, but they kept the house in trust. His brother was living there, all right, and then they treated the house, half of the value of the house, as if it was cash in the bank. Well, it wasn't cash in the bank. Brother was this sort of situation. Brother's living in the house. Yeah, but under the trust, you could have gotten it, and you could have gotten it. And so then, as far as we're concerned, you did get it. Okay. So these are the sorts of things. Well, and what happened was they were denied the Medicaid. It cost them tens of thousands of dollars to be nice to brother who was still in the house. Okay. There are ways to fix these things. They can be done correctly so that at the end of the day, the whole family, everybody is happy with each other. These things don't have to go off the rails. You can do them so everybody's okay.